What if I told you that everything you ever wanted came in a rocket can? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails, a Grand Arena story. Guys, we are in match number 5 of the current GAC season. That means week 2 semifinals, up against a good player named Siggins. He's from the ANZGC group, which is from Australia and New Zealand, I believe. They have a lot of guilds, actually. He's got a really high lifetime banner, watches my streams, and it's a tricky one, guys. I didn't change my defenses too much, actually. After I scouted him, I decided I'd change a few things for sure. And yeah, so it's pretty intense. So I'm going to show you guys my opponent's teams to start with. My defenses you'll see at the end, but it's pretty similar to what we did last time. Let's actually, before we start, guys, I do want to say huge shout out to my patrons. Thank you guys so much for everything. I am still working on a graphic, guys. I'm sorry it's taking so long. And thank you so much to all of the subs on Twitch, everyone who supports this channel. Thank you so much. And if you want to support the channel for free, a couple ways you can do it. Number one, you can go to Twitch and actually do a Prime subscription. If you are on Amazon Prime, you can do for free. You can do a monthly subscription. You have to renew it manually every month, but it does help the channel quite a bit. It's free for you if you have an Amazon channel or an Amazon Prime subscription. The other ways you can do it are, as usual, hit that like button, the sub button if you haven't already, or leave a comment. Help me getting onto the algorithm has been super helpful. Thank you guys so much for that. And with that being said, let's actually just jump into the fighting, shall we? I'll explain as we go along. This was during my Gambit fight night, so I'm just doing commentary. I do that once a week. But let's move, guys. Let's move. We're moving. Okay, so let's rewind just a tiny bit here, folks. Alright, so this is their bottom zone. I'm trying to pause it. Yeah, so they've got Boba, they've got a Bando team, First Order, KRU, I should say, and then REY with armor. This is a new thing, guys, in 3v3. I did this in this match as well, because Sith Eternal Emperor, a lot of times against REY, he will just time out, because the armor, he won't be able to take armor out before armor gets that third stack of Beskar ingots. So it's a pretty big deal. So first I wanted to warm into the stream. I knew that I was going to need to face this. I knew I was going to need to face their REY team eventually, but I just wanted to kind of work my way in. So Geos here, you get Spy going, and instead of doing the big hit on Bando first, you do the expose first and then do a big hit and take him out. So that was pretty easy. Now the question is, can we get 51? Or are we doomed to get 51? Or can we actually get 54? And that is the real question here. So I did my heal here because I have all these debuffs and everything. I wanted to keep myself within reach of it. And the idea here is, if I can stick it out just long enough for my Brood Alpha to be able to do another heal toward the end, then we should be good. We should be good to go. And I mean, it's not a sure thing, but that's the goal at least. We're just trying to get it so that we can get that one heal off with Brood Alpha, and then get the big hit from Spy. Of course, then I realized I had full health and we could just take the shot, and Spy did it. We got 54. So, nice start to the match. Now, one thing to keep in mind is, I knew I was going to have to be really efficient here, because my opponent he placed that REY team. I expected KENOBI in the back, and that was it. I only have 3 Galactic Legends available, but he didn't have Darth Revan or General Skywalker showing. And so we need to be efficient. We need to also use good choices here, good squad selections and counters. So once again, we're using Jedi Training Rey here with the droids on this Commander Luke team. There is no extra potency, or there's no extra, tenacity or crit avoid on this team, really. So just take out Chewie as per usual, and then you work your way to Luke. Now you can see that he's got his second stance up, and this is where he has low tenacity. And so this is where you want to hit him. Otherwise, you kind of want to avoid doing debuffs, trying to do debuffs to him, because he's plus 100% tenacity. He's actually more than that, because Chupio's giving it to people and stuff. It's strangely difficult. So now guys, here's the attraction. We're using Wrecker because I didn't have another Galactic Republic tank available. And I'm using Kenobi here because I want to take out Armor before she gets to apply those Beskar armor stacks. And for a little bit I was like, man, we're not going to be able to hit Rey. This is a fiasco. In fact, I don't really want to have to deal with this because I thought R2 was maybe going to smoke himself, and then I realized he's going to put smoke on himself so he could hide while Rey takes the hits. That's how the AI works. He targets the one with the biggest health and protection. And so you can see Wrecker here. I don't think that Whirlwind actually triggered our Savior, whatever the Kenobi version of Savior is. So that's kind of nice. But we're just using Wrecker because I wanted a tank so that Cat didn't get whirlwinded to death. And now we're kind of good to go. I don't know. We're trying to heal up. Wrecker, we've got damage immunity. Poor old R2. You can see that we took out Rey before she could even take her ultimate. So Kenobi is pretty dirty to Rey. That is certain. And we need to keep in mind to be grateful for that. It's pretty amazing. So anyways, while we're taking down this garbage can, I'm going to get a drink. You think I'd speed this up, but it's already at 120% speed. And, I mean, as a foregone conclusion, the question is, can we heal Wrecker up to the point where we get 54, or are we doomed to a 53? And the answer is, we did get a 54, so that whirlwind from Rey availed her not. Pretty fancy. And now we've got this Boba team and First Order. So I decided, you know what, let's use Troopers here. I know Troopers can maybe take something out stronger, but why not just take out the Bounty Hunters? And you see that I didn't really even hesitate to pull the trigger on Boba there, even though he only had a small amount of health, because once he revived, then Dark Trooper would still be punching him. So, I mean, this is a pretty slam dunk, as long as you're fast enough, which I barely was. Granted, there, Boba was kind of fast, but I was fast enough, and we can just get the quick win there without losing any banners. And one thing I'm trying to do this season, guys, I don't know how well we're going to succeed, but I am trying to be pretty efficient where I can. I know people don't expect that from me, but I am trying to be efficient. That doesn't mean I always succeed, but we want to get high banners when we can, while still placing a pretty nice defense. So, anyways, I love Basti lead here with Ki-Adi-Mundi, and then Hoda just with giving the Master's Training to Cam. I mean, you guys saw the 153 hit from Cam, super nice. And then Crew stunned Basti, but then I was able to get the Master's Training on Basti again, so we could spell it. And yeah, so OG Kylo, making a nuisance of himself, almost got Basti out of her bonus protection, so that's a little scary. But we got 54, and really you'll see, I think I spent a minute here. I got a 53 and a 53 on what? Well, we got a 54 on that Rey team, so maybe the only 53 I got, again, was against Commander Luke there. So, pretty good start for me. And then in the back here, hold on a sec, whoa. Okay, let's pause it when we get there. Okay, so in the back, we've got Kenobi, Cat, Kenobi, the Kenobi sandwich, or is it a cat sandwich? I'm not sure. You guys can let me know in the comments, but otherwise, nothing else really, nothing major. He put some cheese down. I mean, that Poe team He does give plus 30 offense to Scav, which is scary, but if you can control that team, it's nothing much. The, you know, Hux, all that, everything. Of course, Kenobi's the scary one, and so this is a team I don't really condone. Frankly, guys, I don't approve of this existing. Frankly, it's annoying because they just target zombie the whole time. Like there's just it's a little dicey until because zombie loses her taunt right away. But then when you do the AOE from Supreme Leader Kylo, then it gives advantage to zombie. Zombie then taunts, and I think they just need to change it so that zombie can't taunt, can't do auto taunt at all unless it's an all Night Sister squad or something like that. Because honestly, it's dumb. They kill zombie and then they have to attack zombie, and even when, but the bad thing about it is, I mean, it doesn't when they don't have their ultimate, then it's like, okay, well, sure, you'll never be able to hit someone else because they don't actually have an AoE. They don't have a way to avoid taunt except for Kenobi, but their AI right now says just attack zombie no matter what. Even if you have the high ground and can target who you want, just target zombie. And so you can see my SLK taking a while because he can't get crits very easily in this situation, so taking a while to get his ult, but it doesn't really matter that much because they're just hitting zombie. You can see they hit Daka early on, and then beyond that, they've just hit zombie. So there goes GK. My guess is that I've been kind of inefficient in this fight. I don't do it too often, but I mean, this is why I brought Supreme Leader Kylo, because I know that we have no fear. We don't have to worry about this at all. I used my Kenobi on their REY because my opponent, when I scouted them, they had been placing Kenobi in the back, and so I knew if you put Kenobi in there, I could just use Supreme Leader Kylo with the Night Sisters, and we'd be okay. And we are. We're totally fine here. It's pretty silly, this counter. Finally killed Cad. It's been about 3 minutes, and they totally could have killed Kylo by now if their AI was better. So they're going to change that, but for now, pretty fancy. All right, so I spent a minute here looking at my mods, realizing that my Malak is horrible, but I did keep my Malak for offense this time, just for fun. Someone told me during the chat that the Malak team actually, that Malak solo had won this 235 times out of 235 times, and so I was like, oh, sure, let's do it, I guess. I'm not saying that always keeping Malak for offense is just the very best thing, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to mix things up. Darth Revan can do his thing with Basti and just like Gideon. Malak can kind of he's kind of a free soul, you know. He wants to just do his own thing, but this does get a little dicey because my Malak is not modded very well, unfortunately for all of us. But yeah, finally took out Hux, and now I don't know, now that I have 3 stacks, my defense is really high, my tenacity is really high, and yeah, these guys aren't going to be able to touch me, unfortunately for them. And we can just slowly, over time, chip away, get 56, and I don't know, it's something I've been considering quite a bit lately. I like taking that team on offense, or taking that character on offense. Now, this fight is one that I sped up to 150% because you guys have seen it forever. It's like every match people just put this team on defense, hoping against hope that I'm going to use a different counter team. And this one actually gets a little dicey because I just wasn't sure if I wasn't doing enough damage, and eventually Grievous kind of helped me do more damage to be 2 there than I was kind of doing. And then I mean, you guys can see Cassian is close. He's in yellow right now. He was when I started saying that. But 150% speed means that I can't keep up with things. And then I'm like, man, look at this. We're kind of primed for one disastrous AoE from Grievous if we're not careful. We are healing quite a bit, but all right. So finally we get him dead, and look at this. guys, let K2 die. If K2 dies, then we can revive him for almost max banners, and maybe we can get max banners against this Grievous team. And so I'm just trying here. I'm just trying to do basics, trying to keep him from healing very much. And Grievous keeps like almost doing it. Just pull the trigger, Grievous. Jeez, can you please just pull the trigger for me? Kill K2. And yes, you killed him. So we revive him. Look at all his health and protection. We're doing it, guys. We're gonna get max banners. Super exciting. Promote the worthless guy again. And then he does an AoE right before he's dead. And we can't heal. We can't possibly heal in time. So, kind of ironic, actually. And then he hits the one guy who had any hope of getting max banners. So we got 51. The whole time I was trying hard to just keep K2 alive. Or dead. I wanted him to die real quick. Now this is an interesting take, guys. Finn with the veterans. And so I'm trying something fancy here. We don't want Han to get a turn to AoE us. That's something we want to avoid. So I tried to set it up so that we could get a... I wanted to get a... Oh, here, let's pause it real quick. Wanted to get an AoE to kill both of the veterans while they were stunned. Didn't quite work. Chewie got out and hit Chewie, which is ironic on a couple levels. People self-flagellating, etc. But... now you'll notice here, just to try to get banners back. So Han is good on banners. We're going to win this. But, well, you really want to maximize banners, right? We want to be efficient. And so we can win this by doing the big hit. And that'll probably just take out Finn on its own. But trying to get max banners, Chewie can heal himself if he goes. So what we want to do... either one of these is going to kill him unless the big shot like misses Finn. 2% chance. You don't want to count on that. So if you do a basic, then Chewie is going to go. When he does his damage, then he's going to heal protection on himself and on Wedge, and maybe we get an extra banner or two out of it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. Should I do the basic or the big attack? And this is something that a lot of people kind of miss, like these marginal moves. So right now we get a 52 if we just end it. But, okay, so we shoot. Maybe we just kill him at the first shot, but Chewie does get the assist, and we get a 53 here instead of a 52. And one banner can make a whole lot of a difference, guys. So, now their nest was modded kind of strangely. Not much tenacity, not much speed. Kind of just weird leftover mods. A lot of protection on nest. So we're taking Jedi Revan because my opponent didn't put a really tough defense down, and... we're trying to maximize banners. And so, people in the chat were freaking out. They're like, man, what are you doing, man? No, I don't know what they were thinking. But we don't have a Dispel on Droideka, but this is a Gear 12 Droideka. And so, I kind of like this, in fact. I don't want a Dispel. What I really want is to summon people I want to call people to assist, to be able to heal up to 54 banners, if at all possible. So that's what we're doing. We're just waiting, getting ready to mark Droideka the second he comes out of damage immunity. And we're just waiting. Just bide our time. Let's just wait. Be patient. Cycle through our stuff. And then, yeah, we can do a big hit here. We can call a mass assist. Hopefully that gets Jolie up and all the way. And it certainly did. So 54 banners there. And now, I did have one Galactic Legend left. He has GL Nute here. That's what we call him. This is the team we call Galactic Legend Nute because it kills so many good, or medium range teams, I should say. It doesn't look that good, but it is. However, we've got Sith Eternal here, and he doesn't really need to be babysat by anyone. That means we can use Nute or Watt somewhere else and still maybe get close to max banners here. 55, 56, something like that. And so you mark Nute and Jango, because they have 2 lives each. And just keep in mind, so Jango can cause healing immunity. So you don't want to use that big middle ability on Sith Eternal when he has that, because he's not going to actually heal himself. So, there we go, do the AoE. Take out the 2 guys. They can't revive because it's his ultimate ability. And now it's just kind of funny. You have a slappy fight with B1 for a little bit. Just 2 old men. going at each other. Like, can you imagine? So the B2 or B1 is supposed to represent, like, every stack is supposed to be one B1 character or something. Can you imagine Sith Eternal just electrifying, just going to town on 100 B1s at once, just going at it? It's kind of a cool thought, in my opinion. It's just cool. So, anyways, I debated for a little bit. What should I do? I could take Watt with someone else and make another team. But what I really wanted to do, I wanted to make sure we killed this Cara Dune, and I mean, this is one of our last opportunities, frankly, to be able to use Vader to with Watt to do all that extra damage from ignoring defense from Watt and the weapons tech, and so I just took it, you know, no revives, and the thing is, I could have split my teams up. It would have been better in other circumstances, but after looking at all the teams available, I was like, all right, I have enough teams. I can be efficient against the remaining ground teams, so why not do that? So we've got Bando remaining, which is kind of fun, and this is a pretty high relic Night Sister team, but you notice Daka's not here, and neither is Zombie. My opponent is doing the same thing as me, like saving Supreme Leader Kylo with Zombie Daka to be able to take out Kenobi if they want. So you'll note that Talzin got a stun off on Bando, and that kind of helps us actually, because the stun, or I guess she didn't get the stun, she called the assists, and Asajj got the stun on Bando, and that helps because he only had 5 Whistling Birds, but now we get to use another round. Like, he doesn't leave his I have to poop stance. He actually just remains in there until he gets his Whistling Birds off eventually, or he dies. So it gives us another round of turns to be able to do debuffs to get those Whistling Birds up. So now we're at 11, and Talzin and Spirit both die ignominious deaths here. Now, one thing that I'm kind of regretting, we can't... so I healed the protection on IG there, but we took out Asajj a little bit before we could actually heal the health on IG, so we only got 53. I'm starting to get good with that team, though, or at least decent. Causing that permanent death is pretty fancy, in my opinion. Now, this one is a little sketchy. We're using Aurra lead bounty hunters against this Maul team, and of course they've got the Zeta, and we're trying to stun, not working as well as last time, but as long as we can eventually, we want to take out Marauder, because the other guys can do damage, but Marauder is really, he's the crazy one. He's really tough to do damage, or do enough damage, or rather, you can't kill him with normal attacks. You have to get the disintegrate, and he's doing a ton of damage. If there's debuffs, he's doing more damage. If there's no debuffs and there's just a bunch of buffs, then the Marauder has a ton of tenacity and defense, and you can't kill him. So he's kind of a monster if you let him be. Like, that's why he's so good with Darth Revan teams, is because there's so many debuffs around. He turns into an offensive monster, especially because he's a Forced Relic 7. So anyways, now we're just hanging out here. What I really want to do, we want to get max banners. Like I said, we're going for efficiency, and so I know that it seems a little bit silly to, like, this Maul is so close to death, but Sith Empire Trooper kept taunting, Maul keeps going in and out of stealth, and I was like, you know what, if we take him out, then we have more time to just focus on Sith Empire Trooper. We have more than enough time if we need to wait for another disintegrate, but that way we can get Grief another turn, get some protection back from him, and then eventually we get the kill for another 25%, I believe, from Aurra's lead, Zeta. And we eventually get there, 54 banners against some against some Sith with bounty hunters. And I love how much mileage I've been getting out of that Aurra team. I know that a lot of people prefer using Bosk lead, and he's safer, for sure, but then you don't have another bounty hunter team. That way in 3v3 you can have 2 functional bounty hunter teams, one with Bosk and Boba and Dengar, and the other with the one that you just saw. So anyways, hopefully we can get 3 teams up once we get all of these other characters relic. So like Zam and Embo, dear lord. But we've got this Poe team. May as well just use Bad Batch here. It seems like overkill because of all the control we have. Still trying to learn this team. So you get the debuffs, you get the stuns, and then the thing that I found is best is you call Hunter to assist as much as you can, and then Echo eventually you can see he does a basic. It gives defense up to Tech, which means he does true damage at that point, which means it ignores defense. That's the new damage ignore is true defense. That's why they're rebalancing the game to take away the old ignore defense. They want the new regime of ignore defense penetration or whatever to come in, which is true damage. So pretty efficient squads. You can see going into ships, I was at 30-14 banners. So, you know, normally if you go in with about 3,000 in Division 1, you're pretty happy with how things have gone, and so I'm pretty far ahead. Now we're using Rebels here. You can see Darth Vader is not in the starting lineup, so you can just focus down Bomber there. Don't have to worry about anyone else. This gauntlet is a pretty garbage gauntlet. No shade on my opponent, but it just isn't a good gauntlet, and I'm not going to say otherwise, really. And so, anyways, we're getting assists with Falcon. Everything is pretty happy. So may as well get Cassian in and get a guaranteed kill before all these grenades just explode. And we get a 67 banners against those rebels. So pretty fancy of me, I have to admit. Reluctantly. I reluctantly admit how fancy I am. But now we're facing... I've got Executor, woo! But it's scary because guys, I don't know how to use it against Malevolence. I've given no thought on how to do that. In fact, in hindsight, maybe I should have just taken Radis against it, because I know more about how to do that. The idea here is you want to take out Sunfac as quick as you can. It'd be nice to take out Spy, but that's not Spy. That is actually just Soldier, I believe. If I remember correctly, I think that's Soldier anyways. So, anyways, we're focusing down Sunfac. You guys can tell me all the things I'm doing wrong. We have 7-star Executors. Hard to tell exactly what we want to do here. And because it's like, what do? You start with a basic, I guess, I think. I don't know. I don't know these things, guys. Oh, okay, so there's Spy. Yep, Spy came in, so Soldier was the starter. And so Vulture isn't in. And poor old Xanadu Blood just gets taken to the cleaners, unfortunately for him. And so I'm like, what move do I use now? Like, I don't know. I don't know. No one has breach except for nobody. We can't call everyone to assist. We can't. There's no one that needs healing exactly. But we want that potency up. We want to get to the point where all of the stats are locked. May as well just take out that Soldier there for no reason. And now we can get our dude in, whatever his name is, IG 2000. There's too many IGs in this game. If you guys realized, we have IG 88, IG 86, IG 100, which is Magna Guard, IG 11, and now we have IG 2000, which I guess 2000 has been around for a while, but there's just a lot of IGs. Like, can we come up with a different acronym for things, please? I'm trying to mark Spy here. You guys do have to forgive the unskilled play. I'm sure there's this better way to do this, a smoother way, but I'm just kind of a bludgeon at this point. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like, you know what? We're not going to put it on auto, but otherwise, let's just take these guys out. So, anyways, we had a 59. Dropped, what, 7 banners on this team. Yeah, 7 banners. So, you guys will see in my final score, it's a little bit silly. In fact, you guys will see that I dropped 12 total banners here, guys. The soft max is 33-38, I believe, for this, for Division 1. So 33-38 if I had gotten max banners every single fight. That's what I would have gotten. So I ended up dropping 7 with the best fleet in the game against the, like, 3rd best or 4th best fleet in the game. Don't know what I'm doing, but otherwise, I would say this has been a pretty successful round in general, just generally speaking. So, My opponent, of course, did not attack until later. He does watch my streams. He stopped by to say hello, see how I was doing, and then he made his attacks a little bit later, actually just as I was going to bed, so I couldn't stay up to watch. But let's go look and see what the final results are, guys. Alright, here we are, guys. Here's my next round opponent. Just as like a little preview, you guys can come watch on Twitch. This guy, 961 lifetime banners. Once he deploys, he will be in the top 10. Undefeated guy, very, very strong player. Just a few lifetime banners below where I'm at, which sounds like a humble brag, but it just means I'm very concerned. He's really good. So, anyways, the final round, as you might imagine, if I'm going to draw that really crazy player in the finals, we did get a win. So, show you guys my defenses real quick, then get you all out of here. We have just passed the 30-minute mark, unfortunately. So, my opponent did full clear me. First time this season I've been full cleared, though he did save a lot for offense. So, he one-shot me. You guys can go through and just look. I put Rey with armor and vendor here, just to discourage the Sith Eternal counter, and then otherwise, I mean, we have GL Nute, we have Darth Revan with Gideon, General Skywalker. Now, the one thing I did see is very first attack, he dropped 8 banners, or was it 6? I think he got a 48, so he dropped 6 banners on my General Skywalker team, which is nice. It's like, oh, he dropped 6. I only need him to drop 7 more on this entire thing, so he did drop considerably more. But if I had failed even one attack, guys, he would have got me. I beat him by 19. So the whole affair was quite interesting. Just looking, you know, we've got Jedi Master Luke here, the Nest team, Jedi Knight Luke. We've got Rex and Kylo, all the things. You guys can go look and pause if you want to. Just want to show you my defenses so we can get you out of here in time. And yeah, I mean, nothing too crazy, really, unfortunately. I like to do crazy things, but we want to save that for really tough matches. We'll do crazy things. So in the back, of course, we did the double flex, which isn't as flexy now because of Executor being what it is. But that being said, folks, we got the win. We're at 5-0, and we've got a really tough match coming up. And for some reason, like, I want to get this feat. We have to get Darth Maul, Darth Sidious, and or Savage a win, which is crazy hard to do against a really good opponent. We have to do it right now. We only have one match to do it in, so we'll see how that goes. That being said, folks, I'm going to let you go. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Would love a like or something. Like, comment, or sub. All 3 would be amazing. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.